Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and this is our daily lectionary readings for Thursday, June 20th, 2024. Our psalm reading will be Psalm 9 through 20. Our Old Testament reading will be 1 Samuel 16, 14 through 23. And then our New Testament reading will be from the book of Acts chapter 20, verses 1 through 16. Today, I think we are going to be reading out of the Modern English Version. And it's Thursday, so we're looking ahead to what's going to be happening at church on Sunday. Psalm 9 through 20. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in the time of trouble. Those who know your name will put their trust in you. For you, Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord who dwells in Zion, declares his deeds among the people. He who avenges death remembers them. He does not forget the cry of the humble. Be gracious to me, O Lord. Consider my trouble from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praise, and the gates of the daughter of Zion, that I may rejoice in your salvation. The nations have sunk down in the pit that they made. Their own foot is caught in the net in which they hid. The Lord is known by the judgment that he executes. The wicked one is snared in the work of its own hands. Meditation. The wicked will be turned to Sheol, and all the nations that forgot God. For the needy will not always be forgotten, nor will the hope of the poor perish forever. Arise, O Lord. May mortals not prevail. Let the nations be judged in your sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations themselves may know that they are mortals. Our Old Testament reading continues in the book of 1 Samuel. We're already up into chapter 16, verses 14 through 23. Now the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord terrified him. So the servant of Saul said to him, See, an evil spirit from God troubles you. Let our Lord now tell you, your servants who are before you, that they might seek out a man experienced in playing the lyre. And it will come to pass, when the evil spirit from God is on you, that he will play with his hand, and you will be well. Saul said to the servants, Find me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then one of the servants answered and said, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, who is experienced in playing music, a mighty man of valor, a man of battle, and skillful in words, even a man of fine appearance, and the Lord is with him. Therefore Saul sent messengers to Jesse and said, Send me David your son, who is with the sheep. Jesse took a donkey laden with bread, a bottle of wine, and a young goat, and he sent them with his son David to Saul. David came to Saul and stood before him, and Saul loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David stand before me, for he has found favor in my sight. It happened that when the evil spirit from God came on Saul, David would take the lyre in his hand and play. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Our New Testament reading comes from Acts chapter 20, verses 1 through 16. After the uproar ceased, Paul summoned the disciples and embraced them and departed the Macedonia. When he had gone through that region and had greatly exhorted them, he arrived in Greece and stayed there 3 months. When the Jews plotted against him, he was about to sail to Syria. He decided to return through Macedonia. Accompanying him to Asia were Sopater of Berea, and Archias and Sagius of Thessalonica, Gaius of Derbe, and Timothy, and Tychicus, and Trophimus of Asia. These men went forward and waited for us at Troas. But we sailed away from Philippi after the days of the unleavened bread. And after the days we came to him at Troas, where we stayed for 7 days. On the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread, Paul, ready to leave the next day, preached to them and continued his message until midnight. There were many lamps in the upper room where they were assembled. A young man named Eutychus sat in the window, falling into a deep sleep as Paul spoke for a longer time. Being overcome by sleep, he fell down from the 3rd floor and was taken up dead. Paul went down and leaned over him, and embracing him said, "Do not be troubled, for he is alive." When he had gone up and had broken bread and eaten, he conversed for a long while, until dawn, and departed. They took the lad in alive and were greatly comforted. We went ahead to the ship and sailed to Assos, intending to take Paul on board there, for he had arranged this, intending to go on foot. When he met us at Assos, we took him on board and went to Mytilene. The next day after sailing there, we arrived off of Chios, and the next day we crossed over to Samos and stayed at Trogilis, and the following day we went to Miletus. Paul had decided to sail by Ephesus to avoid spending time in Asia, for he was hurrying so he could be in Jerusalem, if possible, on the day of Pentecost. And here ends our readings for the day.